Top 25 Special Education Interview Questions and Answers. In this video, we will explore the top 25 interview questions commonly asked in the field of special education. Understanding these questions will help you prepare effectively for your next interview and enhance your confidence in showcasing your skills. We will also provide thoughtful answers to each question, offering insights into best practices and strategies for success. Whether you are a new graduate or an experienced professional, this guide will help you navigate your interview with ease. 1. What inspired you to work in special education? My inspiration for working in special education stems from a deep-seated belief in the potential of all students, regardless of their abilities. Witnessing the resilience and determination of individuals with disabilities opened my eyes to the unique challenges they face. I felt a strong calling to create a supportive environment where they could thrive academically and socially. Engaging with these students has been incredibly rewarding, as I've seen firsthand how tailored instruction and encouragement can lead to remarkable growth and success in their lives. 2. Can you describe your experience with students who have a range of disabilities? My experience working with students who have a range of disabilities has been incredibly rewarding and insightful. I've had the opportunity to support individuals with autism spectrum disorder, learning disabilities, and physical impairments. Each student has unique needs, requiring tailored approaches for effective learning. I focus on building strong relationships, employing individualized strategies, and utilizing adaptive materials. By fostering an inclusive environment that encourages communication and collaboration, I've witnessed remarkable growth in their academic and social skills, promoting a sense of belonging and achievement. 3. How do you individualize lesson plans or activities for different learning needs? Individualizing lesson plans for students with diverse learning needs involves assessing each student's strengths and challenges. I start by reviewing their IEPs and gathering insights from previous assessments. This helps me tailor content to their interests and abilities. I incorporate varied instructional strategies, such as hands-on activities, visual aids, and technology, ensuring engagement. Additionally, I provide flexible grouping options, allowing peer collaboration. Regular feedback and adjustments based on student progress ensure that each lesson is effective and meets their unique needs. 4. How do you ensure compliance with IEP, Individualized Education Program, goals? Ensuring compliance with IEP goals involves a systematic approach. First, I closely review each student's IEP, collaborating with special education professionals and parents to understand specific objectives. I incorporate these goals into daily lesson plans, ensuring alignment with instructional strategies. Regular monitoring of student progress through assessments and observations is essential. I maintain open communication with the IEP team, participating in meetings to discuss updates and adjustments. This proactive collaboration helps create a supportive environment that meets each student's unique needs effectively. 5. What strategies do you use to manage challenging classroom behaviors? Managing challenging classroom behaviors requires a proactive approach. I implement clear expectations and consistent routines to create a structured environment. Positive reinforcement is key. I recognize and reward appropriate behaviors to encourage students. Additionally, I use social stories and role-playing to help students understand acceptable behaviors. When issues arise, I focus on de-escalation techniques, such as giving students space and using calm communication. Collaboration with other professionals, like counselors, can also provide additional strategies tailored to individual needs, ensuring a supportive atmosphere for all students. 6. Can you give an example of how you adapted curriculum for a specific student? In my experience, I worked with a student with autism who struggled with reading comprehension. To adapt the curriculum, I implemented visual aids and hands-on activities. For a particular lesson on story elements, I created a visual storyboard with images representing characters, settings, and events. This approach allowed the student to engage with the material actively and relate the story to their own experiences. Additionally, I used one-on-one reading sessions to provide personalized support, focusing on their interests to keep them motivated and engaged in learning. 7. How do you collaborate with general education staff to support inclusion? Collaboration with general education staff is essential for effective inclusion. I initiate regular meetings with teachers to discuss individual student needs and share strategies that have proven successful. Open communication is key. I encourage teachers to share their observations and insights, which helps in creating a cohesive approach to instruction. I also provide resources and training on differentiated instruction and adaptations. By fostering a supportive environment, we can ensure that students with special needs receive the necessary support while participating fully in the general education curriculum. 8. What is your experience with assistive technology devices or software? Assistive technology plays a vital role in enhancing the learning experience for students with disabilities. I have worked with various devices, such as speech-to-text software, screen readers, and communication boards. Implementing these tools has allowed students to engage more fully in lessons and express their thoughts independently. For instance, I introduced a text-to-speech application for a student with reading difficulties, significantly improving their comprehension and participation in class discussions. I regularly assess the effectiveness of these technologies, ensuring they meet each student's unique needs. 9. How do you track and measure student progress toward IEP goals? Tracking and measuring student progress toward IEP goals involves a systematic approach. I utilize a combination of qualitative and quantitative methods, including regular assessments, observations, and data collection. I maintain detailed records of student performance on specific goals and objectives outlined in their IEPs. This includes specific metrics such as test scores, work samples, and behavioral observations. Additionally, I hold regular review meetings with the IEP team to discuss progress and adjust strategies as needed, ensuring that each student is on track to meet their goals. Communication with parents is also essential in this process. 10. How do you prepare students for transitions, for example, grade changes, post-school life? Preparing students for transitions involves a structured approach that includes individualized planning and consistent communication. I start by identifying the specific needs of each student, collaborating with families, and developing a transition plan that outlines goals, resources, and steps needed for success. Activities may include visiting new environments, role-playing scenarios, and setting up mentorship opportunities. I also emphasize life skills, such as self-advocacy and decision-making, to empower students during these changes, ensuring they feel confident and ready for the next stage of their educational journey. 11. How do you communicate with parents about student progress and challenges? Effective communication with parents is crucial in supporting student success. I utilize regular updates through emails, phone calls, and scheduled meetings. I make sure to share both positive achievements and areas for improvement, providing specific examples to illustrate progress. I encourage parents to discuss their concerns and insights, creating a collaborative atmosphere. Additionally, I use accessible language and visual aids when necessary, ensuring that parents fully understand their child's needs and how we can work together to address challenges. This partnership fosters a supportive environment for the student. 12. Can you share a success story from your work in special education? One of my most rewarding experiences involved a student with severe autism who struggled with communication. By implementing a picture exchange communication system, we gradually increased his ability to express his needs and feelings. Over time, he began to initiate interactions with peers and engage in group activities. Witnessing his growth and newfound confidence was incredibly fulfilling. This success not only impacted him but also inspired his classmates to be more inclusive and understanding, fostering a supportive classroom environment. 13. How do you promote self-confidence and independence in students with special needs? Promoting self-confidence and independence in students with special needs involves creating a supportive environment where they feel safe to take risks. I focus on setting achievable goals tailored to each student's strengths, celebrating their successes, no matter how small. Encouraging self-advocacy is essential. I teach students how to express their needs and preferences. Incorporating life skills into daily activities helps them develop practical abilities, fostering a sense of accomplishment. Lastly, providing consistent feedback and positive reinforcement boosts their self-esteem, empowering them to tackle challenges with confidence. 14. What proactive strategies do you use to prevent behavior issues? Creating a positive classroom environment is key to preventing behavior issues. Establishing clear expectations and routines helps students feel secure and understand what is expected of them. Engaging students with varied instructional methods maintains their interest and reduces frustration. Building strong relationships through consistent communication allows me to recognize early signs of distress. Incorporating social-emotional learning activities promotes self-regulation skills, enabling students to manage their emotions and behaviors effectively. Regularly praising positive behavior reinforces desired actions. 15. How do you handle a situation when a student's behavior disrupts the classroom? When a student's behavior disrupts the classroom, I first assess the situation to determine the root cause of the behavior. It's essential to remain calm and composed. I may redirect the student to a more appropriate activity or provide a brief break, allowing them to reset. Additionally, I use positive behavior reinforcement to encourage appropriate behaviors. If the behavior persists, I may discuss strategies with the student privately, ensuring they understand the impact of their actions. Collaborating with support staff and parents is also crucial in developing a consistent approach that supports the student's needs and minimizes disruptions. 16. How do you work as part of a multidisciplinary team, therapists, psychologists, social workers? Working collaboratively with a multidisciplinary team is essential in special education. I regularly participate in team meetings where we discuss each student's needs, share insights, and develop comprehensive strategies. Communication is key. I ensure that I actively listen and contribute my observations about students' progress. I also build relationships with therapists and social workers, facilitating consistent support across various settings. By aligning our goals and strategies, we create a cohesive approach that empowers students and addresses their diverse needs effectively. 17. How do you ensure all students feel included socially as well as academically? Creating an inclusive environment requires intentionality. I foster social inclusion by promoting group activities that require collaboration, ensuring students of varying abilities work together. I integrate social skills training within academic lessons, emphasizing communication and teamwork. Regularly facilitating peer interactions helps break down barriers while encouraging friendships. I also encourage the use of buddy systems, pairing students to support each other academically and socially. Celebrating diverse cultures and abilities within the classroom creates a sense of belonging for everyone, making all students feel valued and connected. 18. What steps do you take to stay updated on special education laws and best practices? Staying updated on special education laws and best practices involves continuous professional development. I regularly attend workshops, conferences, and webinars focused on special education. Subscribing to reputable journals and online resources ensures I have access to the latest research and legislative updates. Networking with other professionals in the field allows for sharing insights and strategies. Additionally, I actively participate in local and national special education advocacy groups to stay informed about policy changes and best practices that affect my students and their families. 19. How do you tailor communication methods for nonverbal students? Tailoring communication methods for nonverbal students involves a variety of strategies. First, I assess each student's unique needs and preferences, then incorporate visual aids, such as pictures and symbols, to facilitate understanding. I often use augmentative and alternative communication (AAC) devices, which can empower students to express themselves more effectively. Additionally, I focus on nonverbal cues, like gestures and facial expressions, to enhance interactions. Building trust and creating a supportive environment encourages students to engage and communicate in their own ways, promoting their confidence and independence. 20. Can you give an example of using positive reinforcement effectively? Positive reinforcement can be effectively utilized in a classroom by recognizing and rewarding desired behaviors. For instance, I once worked with a student who struggled with completing assignments on time. I introduced a token system where the student earned tokens for each completed task. After accumulating a certain number of tokens, they could choose a small reward, like extra recess time or a preferred activity. This approach not only motivated the student to complete tasks but also helped build their confidence as they experienced success in meeting expectations. 21. How do you foster peer relationships among students with and without disabilities? To foster peer relationships, creating an inclusive environment is essential. This can involve structured group activities that encourage collaboration, where students work together on tasks, ensuring that each student's strengths are recognized. Implementing buddy systems pairs students with and without disabilities for various activities, promoting understanding and empathy. Social skills training can also be beneficial, focusing on communication, sharing, and problem solving. Regularly celebrating diversity through events and discussions can help build a strong community where all students feel valued and connected. 22. What's your approach to balancing academic content with life skills instruction? Balancing academic content with life skills instruction involves integrating both areas into a cohesive learning experience. I prioritize identifying essential life skills relevant to my students' futures, such as communication, problem solving, and self-advocacy. While teaching academic subjects, I weave in real-life scenarios where students can practice these skills. For example, during math lessons, I might incorporate budgeting exercises to enhance understanding of financial literacy. This approach not only makes learning more engaging but also prepares students for independence beyond school. 23. How would you handle a disagreement with a parent regarding a student's educational plan? Handling a disagreement with a parent requires open communication and empathy. First, I would listen carefully to their concerns, ensuring they feel heard and respected. Then, I would explain the rationale behind the educational plan, using clear language and specific examples. It's important to find common ground, so I'd invite them to collaboratively explore possible adjustments that still align with the student's needs and goals. Maintaining a positive relationship is vital, so I would follow up after the meeting to ensure they feel supported and engaged in their child's education. 24. How do you deal with emotional stress or burnout in such a challenging role? Dealing with emotional stress and burnout in special education requires a proactive approach. First, I prioritize self-care by engaging in regular physical activity, maintaining a healthy diet, and ensuring sufficient rest. Establishing a support network with colleagues who understand the challenges can provide emotional relief and shared experiences. I also practice mindfulness techniques, such as deep breathing and meditation, which help me stay grounded, especially during tough days. Setting realistic goals and celebrating small victories keeps me motivated and focused on the positive impact I have on my students. 25. What personal qualities do you think are most important for success in special education? In special education, empathy, patience, and adaptability stand out as crucial qualities. Empathy allows educators to connect with students on a deeper level, understanding their unique challenges and perspectives. Patience is vital, as progress can be slow and requires consistent encouragement. Adaptability ensures that teaching methods can be modified to meet diverse needs effectively. Additionally, strong communication skills foster collaboration with families and other professionals, creating a supportive environment for students. These qualities collectively contribute to a nurturing learning atmosphere essential for student success. As we wrap up our discussion on the top 25 special education interview questions and answers, we hope you found valuable insights and tips to help you prepare for your interview. Understanding these questions can empower you to showcase your skills and passion for working with students with diverse needs. Remember, preparation is key to success in any interview. If you enjoyed this content and found it helpful, please give us a like and consider subscribing for more informative videos. Your support means a lot and helps us create more resources for educators like you.